everyone, and thanks for joining me for this first Lightroom video tutorial. We're going to go over just some basics just to get us started in this program, just so we have a very comfortable feel about the look, the modules, the panels. And so we'll just dive right in and get a quick overview of this. Now up here on the top right are the main modules, as we call them in Lightroom. And here we have the Library, Develop, Map, Book, Slideshow, Print, and Web. Now, I spend the vast majority of my time in Library and Develop, so those are the only two we're going to cover on this one. For now, let's just start in Library. And notice that we have these panels here on the left and on the right. Now, those will be different in Develop, so we'll go over those then. But for right now, let's just look at what we have here. Here we have the catalog, so you can look at all your photographs, just the synced photographs, which is actually referring to the Creative Cloud and ones you might have in your iPad. Quick collections, which is another topic, and previous import. What's most important though here is the folders, and this is actually where all of your files are housed. Now I keep some on the hard drive, but I just cleaned it all out because I'm keeping them on this notebook and on a separate hard drive, so I've got them in at least two places, often three though. And you can see that these are all the folders over here. So right here, we're just looking at my Hoops catalog right now. And so I can actually click through all these games and see all of my photos from those games. Now here we have 305, which is actually, let's see, that must be the game against Iowa. So why don't I go ahead and right click this, and we'll just rename this right now because I like to stay organized as possible. I can say at Iowa, and or versus Iowa, because that was a home game, and save. And so now we've got that better there. You can see I do keep files on other hard drives as well, but none of those are plugged in, so it's not showing it. We also have the connections over here, which will show everything that'll be in Lightroom mobile, or you can do these other kind of smart folders called collections. Underneath that, you have publish services, so you can quickly upload to Facebook or Flickr or any other site that may have a plugin. Now over on the right, while we're in the library module, you're going to see that we have a histogram here, and it's going to have the basic metadata. Here we have the ISO 3200 on the 24mm f4 and 1/640th of a second. So that's kind of nice. You can just take a quick view of what those settings were. And underneath that, we can start doing some keywording. So you could have done it on import, but here we could go through and just add some keywords. And this shows some of the other ones that I have available. Or you could even click down here and it'll show you the entire keyword list that you have. Underneath that is going to be the rest of your metadata. Some of it's as simple as just the dates, the copyright, things like that. But you also even have whether the flash fired or not, the make of the camera, the model of the camera, even the lens, and sometimes it'll show the focal length. If you have a GPS, it'll also show the GPS coordinates on there. So that's all under the library module. Now if we switch it over to develop, you can click up here or press D. So I'm just going to click up here. So now as you see, we've got just this photo. I think it's the first one from that day. On the right hand side, we have all of our editing. So from here is where we can do the exposure, the contrast, highlights. Down here they have the tone curve and all of these other things we can do, which we can go over in specifics at another time. But this is where you'll do all of the editing. And over here on the left, we have something called presets. Now you'll see that this is an unedited photo. If you look back on the right, nothing has been changed. It's all in zeros. And over here on the left, I can hover my mouse over all these presets and it'll show you what it'll do to this photo. So let's just say I want to change it to black and white. I can click this modern monochrome, which I don't really love, but whatever. Or you could hit this vacation snapshot enhancer strong, which really makes this photo pop. I'm going to undo both of those, but that's just a quick little preview on what you can do in presets. Underneath that, we have snapshots, history, and collections, which, to be honest, we're not going to use very often. And if we do, I'm going to cover it in another video. So one other thing that I want to show you too is underneath here on the bottom. Here we have, if we click this caret, we actually have a film strip mode. Now this is great for the develop module because then I can actually use my mouse to kind of scroll through here and see all the photos and still keep the large one up here. I don't use it that often, but I think a lot of photographers do. It all depends on your workflow and what you like to do, but it's great to know that it's there. You can either click that caret to get it to pop up and down, or you can just press F6 to do that. On the bottom is another important bar, and we call this the toolbar. Down here on the right hand side, you can click and it'll show you all these different things that you can toggle on and off of your toolbar. I only have some of these checked right now, but the ones that I like to use the most are the compare, which I can compare two photos, go back to single. You can flag them as a pick or as a reject. You can do a star rating, or you can do a color label, which can be helpful for sorting. And you can even zoom in and zoom out on the photo. All that can be extremely helpful, and we can toggle this toolbar on and off by pressing T. And speaking of shortcuts, let's go over a couple really quickly. When I've got these right and left panels on here, if I just want to look at the photos and I don't want to see the panels, I can press Tab to toggle the panels back on and back off. And remember, I'm still in the develop panel. If I want to go back to my library, I can press G and get back to this grid mode, and then I can look at all of my photos. To get back to the develop mode, I can press D, and that will take me back into the develop mode, and then I'm looking at this photo and I can go through and tweak it. One last thing I do want to cover in this, although I won't go into depth on it, is the filters. Now, filters are extremely powerful and super helpful. I use them all the time, and they're not actually available in the develop module, so I'm going to press G to get back into the library module, and you can see it's actually up here is this filter panel. Now, if it's not there, what you can do is press the / key, and that will either hide or reveal the filter bar. Once it's revealed, you can press here to text, and you can filter out text, which would be keywords. You could click on attribute, which would then filter out by color, by rating, or by these flags. And you could also go here to filter through the metadata. All this is extremely powerful and very useful. I'm sure you use it all the time, but we'll get into that another time. So I'm going to filter my way out of here, and that is it for this round. As I release more videos, we'll go into each of these in more depth and really teach you how to use Lightroom. But for now, I just wanted to go over the main features so that we all knew what panels were, what modules were, and how to reach each of these toolbars. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Please leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. Click up top to subscribe, or click any of these 3 boxes to watch other episodes. Thanks again for watching.